The ground underneath Wythe County, Virginia is full of minerals, and over 415 mines have been dug to extract them. In 1884, 11 Virginia furnaces produced 70,000 tons of pig iron. Virginia dominated the iron market, beating Pennsylvania and Alabama. All these natural resources made Wythe County a target and an asset in both the Revolutionary and the Civil War. The mining in Wythe County was so important to the development of the county that even the county seal has an image on it from this bygone era.
This tower is a couple miles from Foster Falls. It's also a couple miles from the oldest operating mine in Virginia. It was built in 1812 by Thomas Jackson. The tower is 75 feet tall and has a 75-foot pit dug underneath. To make different caliber bullets, they would pour molten lead through different size screens. During the 150-foot fall, the lead would form a sphere. Then it would land in a bucket of water at the bottom. The tower was used until 1830. I'm Johnny Ashley in The Hood in the Woods, your neighborhood backwoods history and travel channel. You can find me on Facebook as The Real Hood in the Woods and on Instagram as Abandoned in Appalachia. Now, if you'd like to help me out and help yourself out too, you should get the official copy of The Hood in the Woods books, Volume 1, Volume 2, and Volume 3. A link will be in the description. Also, if you like the shirt I have on, my I Break for Old Houses shirts, we got a couple for sale, with history and without the history. Another thing in the description of this video is going to be a link to my other YouTube channel, The Family Court Guy. The railroad that follows Interstate 81 and Route 11 through Southwest Virginia, that's the old Tennessee-Virginia Railroad. Now, that was built before the Civil War. After the Civil War, Norfolk and Western took control of the railroad. They started building two lines, one going north up the New River from Radford into the West Virginia coal fields, and one going south following the New River into mineral-rich Southwest Virginia.
In 1881, an iron furnace was built at Foster Falls. 1881 is very late in the Iron Age, and some say this venture was doomed to fail before it even started.
Humans have been producing steel for at least 1,000 years, with different cultures perfecting their own techniques. Steel is made by adding different elements to iron, which will affect its properties, like making it not rust or be stronger. Steel allowed places like New York City to build skyscrapers and giant bridges. The problem was, it was hard to produce steel on an industrial level because it has to be heated to thousands of degrees, not the hundreds of degrees needed to produce iron. About 25 years before this was built, in 1856, the Bessemer process was patented. It allowed steel to be made at an industrial level. Puddling was another method to produce steel, and soon these special furnaces started being produced. In 1872, 9 years before this was built, Andrew Carnegie opened his first steel plant in what would become Pittsburgh. Southwest Virginia was also considered to be a location of his steel plant, but in the 1880s, a vein of better ore was found in Minnesota, and that's why no steel mills were ever built down here. In 1887, a bridge began being built across the New River to connect Foster Falls with nearby iron mines.
The New River South line did not reach Foster Falls until 1888. Before then, all the raw material to make the iron and the finished product had to be moved up to the main line by horse and wagon. As soon as the New River South line reached Foster Falls, the Grand Hotel opened. It was built by the Foster Falls Mining and Manufacturing Company, the same company that had built the furnace.
The Grand Hotel was built to be the centerpiece of the Foster Falls community. Besides being a hotel, it also had a saloon, a post office, and housed the company offices. The New River is usually pretty slow and lazy, but here it speeds up pace, making the location a great spot for water-powered mills. There was a sawmill, a grist mill, and a distillery. I don't know if you can really see it from there, but the water from the river was diverted to come through here. This was a mill, and right here, this is where the wheel would have been with the water spinning it. In 1889, the furnace and the town was sold to the Virginia Coal and Coke Company. To improve production, they began using a steam-operated boiler, in a process that today we call hot blasting. At its peak, the furnace produced 12 tons of iron a day. By 1895, the population of Foster Falls was 295 people, with almost 100 houses built to hold them.
In 1916, the New River flooded, and it knocked out the railroad bridge crossing the New River and going to the iron ore mine. Instead of rebuilding the bridge, the company decided to shut down the furnace.
The employees and their families moved away, and with no customers, businesses began to close. There was no need for this ornate hotel, and in 1919, it was sold to the Addington Presbyterian Church for only $1. The church turned the hotel into an industrial school for girls, whose ages ranged from 12 to 20. They taught a wide range of subjects, from accounting to geography. In 1938, the hotel's name and purpose changed again. This time it became an orphanage. Now it's important to remember that this is during the Great Depression, when extreme poverty was gripping the United States. Some people simply couldn't feed their children, and they had to drop them off places like this and just pray for the best.
In 1962, the orphanage was burned down by a fire, and the children had to be relocated to Wytheville. Along with the old railroad line, it was purchased by the state in 1986.
After getting the land, the state turned it over to the Park Service, and they turned the railroad line into a hiking trail. It goes from Pulaski to Galax. The New River Trail State Park is the second most visited state park in Virginia.
The Grant Hotel sat like this for almost 4 decades, and locals began to report ghostly events. Eventually, the state began to renovate it.
It is now opened again as a hotel. That's my video. Hope you liked it. If you did like it, you need to hit the like button and hit the subscribe button. Don't be watching my stuff for free. If you like this video, here's a couple more videos you should check out.